Wow. 2 murders back to back.
Yep.
Now we can start talking to each other like people and not just about murders.
Right.
While the characters on Only Murders in the Building might not know what to discuss now that they revealed the season 2 killer, you know we are going to discuss that reveal right now. So, if you haven't watched the finale yet, turn off this segment. You're going to be spoiled. Wait a few seconds, okay? You all gone yet? Okay, let's do it.
We've been on to you since this afternoon.
We all have.
After a head-spinning sequence that had fingers pointing in several different directions, it was revealed that Poppy killed Bunny, and showrunner John Hoffman told The Hollywood Reporter that that plan was in place shortly after they finished season 1.
Coming this fall, only murderers in the building.
That's good, Poppy. That's very good. I wrote that.
It was pretty soon after we wrapped season 1 that the notion hit me. Poppy was in a small handful of characters I thought could be the culprit. I didn't have it by the end of season 1. It came with the notion of, how do we get our trio out of this terrible framing? Who would want to do that to our trio?
I do everything for you.
Adina Verson, who plays Poppy, was told before they started shooting season 2 of Poppy's murderous ways, telling The Independent, I was so excited and then a little weirded out that I was so excited. I think it's just such an honor to have the writers and John Hoffman, the showrunner, trust me enough to have such an integral piece in this story this season. And Poppy living in Cinda's shadow has some real life connection.
I think you could have your own podcast.
Oh, don't you even.
Poppy?
Tina Fey was the show's dream choice to play Cinda, but when she didn't sign on initially, they auditioned actresses for that role, including Adina. When Tina finally agreed to do the show, Adina lost out despite a strong audition. But John tells The Hollywood Reporter that he created the role of Cinda's assistant to still have Adina on the show. Adina is so brilliant, I think both just funny and relatable and heartbreaking in ways, and just a force.
Why does Mabel get a podcast? Because she's pretty?
So while the show toyed with several different characters being Bunny's murderer, including Teddy, Theo, and even Jan pulling it off from her jail cell, they settled on Poppy. John says Poppy was hoping that she would have some acknowledgement from Cinda and some advancement in her career that she's been longing for. Making Poppy the killer also allowed this season to delve deeper into the culture of true crime podcasting. John says having it all play out in a chaotic killer reveal party allowed the writers to really lean into all the possible outcomes that they had set up this season.
You did! Me!
Sorry, I got disoriented.
You did!
And John says, nothing is perfect and there will always be certain loose ends and certain things that are random. I think it's okay to have certain things that are random and not tied into the explanation because that's kind of what happens when you're doing an investigation anyways. So Poppy's the killer, and then there was a killer entrance.
I'm good.
Paul Rudd popped up in the final moments, but he didn't last long. John says Paul's connection to all 3 of the show's leads definitely helped entice him to sign on.
Okay, so then I can kill him. Because I just might, Oliver. I'm warning you.
Oh, no, see, now that is an interesting color.
He's very good friends with Marty. He's revered Steve since he was a kid. And he worked with Selena on a beautiful film they made together. That would be 2016's The Fundamentals of Caring. It was just sort of, would he ever? Because this is what we're thinking. And it means he'd be here. And then we would need him again here. And within a minute, he came back and said, yes, I would love to. We're very excited about keeping him rolling into season 3.
You've gotta be f***ing kidding me.
But how long can they keep this show rolling with the trio connected to a murder each season? John says, as long as they'll have us and as long as we can keep doing it, I think there's great variety in the terms of the stories that can be told. I know there have been funny discussions about how many murders can there be in one building, but I think that's a fun challenge too. I think these characters are endlessly fascinating. Yeah, I don't take this show too seriously, so I think they can keep it going for a while. I find this show generally entertaining. It's very light viewing. I found several moments in season 2 were not particularly well written, but I find the novelty of this show is watching these big stars interact together. Beyond Steve, Martin, and Selena, we have Tina Fey, Amy Schumer, Shirley MacLaine, Jane Lynch, Nathan Lane, Cara Delevingne, Andrea Martin, Michael Rappaport, Sting, and now they're adding Paul Rudd to the mix. That's what really gets me to tune in. But yeah, what did you think of the season 2 killer reveal? And did Paul Rudd's surprise entrance and quick death intrigue you for season 3?